That's starting it, or okay. We're up to Taf Kuf Mem Zion. Dim Meis Lo Meis B'Chol Moed. Chol Moed also behesped b'tanis. It's also to give a hesped, or to fast on Chol Moed. Lefichach ein manichin es amita b'rachov. Therefore, it's also to go ahead and when you're to leave. Doing a levaya, to what people do is they put the mita in the rechov and they're maspid it. So that we can't do. Shalahargil is a hesped. You shouldn't cause a hesped. Therefore, levaya works on Chol Moed that basically you just take the I guess you do tziduk whatever it is, or you just go straight to the kever and do everything by the kever. I'm not sure the exact minig is. But that's the idea. Nashim ma'anos. Again, this used to be the minig. It used to be that I think by Moroccans, I've seen it. If you've been to Moroccan levaya, at the nashim and ma'anos, they like cry out and do whatever, and they say whatever. I forget exactly what they do. And shekulam oinos ka'achas, and they all cry out after one. They're allowed to do that. They don't. The hainish achas v'daberes shekulam oinos achareha. They can all do a biyacha, but one says, isha chesed, something like that. Whatever, I don't know. That they can't do because it's ma'orer extra sadness, and that should come to someone to stand up and to do a hesped. Below matapchais, nor do they. I know kalachos kaf al kaf. They don't, they don't do a, clap. Nikbar meis aflo ma'anos. But after the kvura, even then. They're not ma'anos, because there is a certain amount of recognition that people are going to be sad, and so on, but there's only if to make a gvul as to how sad people are. Gimel, kol shloshim yom l'fnei HaMoed, every 30 days before Moed. I guess that would be from Purim or from, I guess in Iyar or after. Well, no, because the Chol Moed by Shavuos. But by Purim or by Tezvav Elul, Chol Shoshim L'fnei HaMoed, or maybe in Rosh Chodesh Elul, Aser lahaspid al hameis. Right, so every time a Chol Moed, it's also to go give a hesped for a mace. Shemeisa L'fnei Shloshim Yom Kodem HaMoed. That if he had a karov someone who was nifter 30 days before. A little more than 30 days before the Moed, it's also to go ahead and say a hesped in those 30 days after Purim. If you yesh lo hesped below zeh, shemeso meis v'soch shloshim, shemutu l'saf to feel meis erev haregel. If he was, explain what's going on over here. What's going on over here is that there's the Chomim or Choishesh, that if you would go ahead, that once someone was nifter, so okay, shortly the pain goes away, slowly. If they went ahead and they said a hesped during the 30 days before the moed, it's going to ma'orer the sadness, and it's going to mashpia and affect the simcha. The simcha until in the moed, and it might come, and it's going to ruin his moed. Which, for us, listen, I guess depends on the situation. Back then, I guess they were more emotional. I don't know, but al kapanim, you're talking about someone, on Chaf Adar, would go ahead and say a hesped, and therefore on Chol Moed Pesach you wouldn't be able to enjoy yourself is a chiddush. But kacha, that's we're choshish for such a thing. However, if the person was taka lifter between Purim and Pesach, then definitely it's mutter to go again and give a hesped. All right, I feel in yesh lo hesped below zeh, even if there's already was a hesped, it could go shemeisel meisel shloshim Shemuter l'safta, feel meis erev, even meis erev regel, you're allowed to give a hesped. It's just a Chol Moed, it's also lahaspid imo al hameis shemeis if they shloshi yom kodem HaMoed. It's also to go ahead and be maspid imo al hameis shemeis if they shloshi yom kodem HaMoed. Even there, let's say a situation. Let's say it was husband and wife, right? One was they were nifter a week apart. One was or a month apart, whatever it is. One was nifter in Shvat, the other one was nifter, in the end of Adar, and so it's also when they would be giving a hesped for the spouse to go ahead and to mazkir and to go ahead and talk about the other spouse as well in that hesped. It's a chiddush because it's going to ma'or a person's sadness for that person. If a person was nifter within 30 days, he's sad. There's nothing we can do about that. But if it was before 30 days, and you don't want to ma'or that avelus, that sadness, which is going to mashpia on the moed. Mi shabalo shmua b'soch shloshim yom kodem haregel. Well, that's if, let's say, someone was nifter, but let's say he didn't hear about it and he got a shmua krova 30 days before the regel. Shmua rechoka doesn't either one. Nearly shemuter lasafto. It said nearly the Bechara said that it is muter lasafto v'shehid rechoka. Even if it's a shmua rechoka, it's more than 30 days. That he didn't hear the news that this person was nifter, and he only heard about it, now. So therefore, maybe you'll say, it's rechoka. He was nifter 2 years ago, right? So once the din of shmua krova and shmua rechoka is that the person has to be knowing a certain amount of avelus, different things like that. Where rechoka is more than 30 days, so there's less avelus. Krova, he's still knowing shiva, if I remember correctly. So therefore, he's saying for Chapi Hesped as well. If it's Krova, it's definitely he's definitely allowed. Even Rechoka, once he hears it, you're allowed to be maspid. You feel sad, you're allowed to be maspid because you shouldn't have extra sadness 30 days before the moed. Nirali shemasha anu noyim matashim b'shana lisbon ameis lahaskin nishma. So that yurtzai falls out between Purim and Pesach. So then you're allowed the minute to go ahead and to say Oskaras Nefashos and even to do a hesped, things like that. The Eino B'chlal Zed. That's not B'chlal this. The Muzer La'asoisa B'soch Shloshim L'Regel, because it's not you're stopping, because at that time the first yurtzai, you're stopping you're stopping the avelus. You're not, you're not looking to be mamshechit and to keep on be ma'ored again. You're looking to, this is like a siyum to siyum adavar. Sometimes the person, you have to be ma'ored. This was it, and so it doesn't bring as much sadness. Now we're not talking also we're not talking about kil mali rachamim. Because that's the tefillah you say even on Shabbos, even for regular atzma, we say Yizker, and there's no problem saying Yizker on the regel, because it's not something which is supposed to be or sadness. That you feel whatever, but tomorrow like crying, whatever. That's why they say during the first year. There are many who are not knowing to go ahead and you shouldn't. I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute. To go ahead and say Yizker during the first year, because it's not Yizker. Tachas and Yizker is not to make a person sad. It's a point to daven for the mace. So that's okay.
Does this only apply if the yortzeit fell on Chol HaMoed itself?
Oh, to do a hesped? No, this is if the end of the shana. I can talk about the end of the shana fell on. It's also lahasbid. You can't. Al Chol HaMoed is an isser. Here it's a different din than the question of the ma'or sadness, and it's gonna for 30 days, which is 30 days, is gonna go. You're gonna go into Sukkot. You're gonna go into Pesach feeling upset. If let's say the person was nifter, a few months ago, and you begin to say another hesped, you're gonna feel bad for a month. So that it's not during the moed. It's also en karen al hameis b'chol moed. It's also to go ahead and to tear kriya on Chol HaMoed, Ela lekrevav, Shem chayavin lis abba olav. Right, these are the seven krevim: father, mother, wife, son, daughter, and unmarried sister. Chayav mayam lis abba olav v'chein al chach, or brother and sister. I think is included in this. I'm thinking about the Kohen. That's something else, but this is a brother or sister. V'chein al chacham adam kosher, or for chacham and adam kosher, or amad sham b'shas tzias neshama. These are situations where where a person does tear kriya or can tear kriya. Al karav shechayv lis abba alav chacham korea feel ena b'fana v'shabalo shmua b'moed. Even if he heard about it during the moed, he's allowed to go ahead and tear kriya. Even b'sach shel shiyam, as long as it's a shmua kreva, it's within shel shiyam of the misa, so he's allowed to tear kriya. The adam kosher ena korea, but adam kosher, that you don't, that you're not. You can't yother beimisa l'kvura unless it's still before the kvura, and you want to tear kriya on that. Agavi yesh cholkim, and some say you should. V'nalgu b'nei Ashkenaz shelo l'kra b'moed ki'im al avi v'imo. The minig in Ashkenaz is the only tear kriya for avi v'imo. Shar Mason korin la'achar moed. Have a brother, sister, whatever, they tear after the tear kriya after the moed. And makom shei minig yesh kra al kulam. In the makom where there's no minig, then they go ahead and tear for everything. The Mishnah says Ashkenaz means the Yekes, but in Poland it means the Achronim would say in Poland the minig is to be Korea al Kulam, Korea al Kulam. The what's it called? The other Paiskin, Chachas Adon, Aruch Shulchan, they all say they're all cholok. It's in the, what do you mean? The minig in the minig here is that you only tear kriya on aveim. Where the, it's interesting that the Mishnah Berurah, it's a thing that one of the differences between the Aruch Shulchan and the Mishnah Berurah was how are they mesiachis to minig. Mishnah Berurah was mesiachis, the way he paskined, he said, okay, he took all the poskim and was mesakim all the poskim and paskined the fee that. The Aruch Shulchan took into the general minig into his psak often. So you see the Mishnah Berurah over here. He took he said, okay, the Achronim say that the minig and Ashkenaz, that's only Ashkenaz. The minig and the Poland was different. On the ground, the Chachos Adam, the Chachos Adam and the Aruch Shulchan said, well, our minig is only to tear by Avi Imo. So you have to follow what the minig, again, like the Rambam says, you have to follow what the minig is where you are. Nowadays it's complex because there's no, unless you're like in some, that yeke or something like, something which has their minhagim intact. Most people's minhagim aren't intact, so if you go by whatever the rabbi who knows the city or knows hilchos avelos, whatever someone says to do, because it's a little bit unclear. The meaning is also not to tear for Yerushalayim during Chol HaMoed. Meaning Yerushalayim is not to tear not to tear kriya for on the Kaisel, on the Beis Hamikdash, Macham Hamikdash, and seeing the what's it called, the dome over there. That you don't have to tear. You don't tear kriya on Chol HaMoed. So that's why some people they have to visit Chol HaMoed, so they don't have to tear kriya. Okay, I don't know. Ein choltzin kosef el kriya shameis. They used to go ahead and tear kriya and then pull their arm out of their shirt, and so they don't have so their shoulder is bare. The meaning nowadays is not. We don't. No one is choltzin kosef, and any time during Avelis, it's not our minig anymore. So that's fine. So people don't do it. Mavrim b'chol HaMoed. You could do if you did do a levaya, then you are allowed to do a silas havra. So havra where the other people feed the avelim. As a special, it's a dinner of Velus that they feed them. Well, now they do bagels, but it used to be they give them like other lentils, like Yaakov Avinu did for Yitzchak. So Sudas Havra. So Mavir b'chol hamoed, you do even though it's extra availus, you do a sudas havra. Who shelo yavu b'rchavim. You shouldn't do it out in the street. Now again, for Ashkenaz, it's called el korel shomeis. Again, our general minig is not to go ahead and do it publicly. Everyone just does it in the house. I do know that by minig of Sephardim, whatever that is, that they have a whole hall. They sit outside. If you go here in Eretz Yisrael, they just put up a tent and sit outside the building, and people go menachem over there, and so that to do a sudas avra there in Chol HaMoed would be a problem, except for the Kroiv Shomeis. So you can't be knowing avelu, so therefore they have to sit on what's called they used to flip the mitos. They used to actually flip them. They would take the beds or the benches they sat on, and they would flip them over. So you'd sit on the bottom side. Now they would just sit on the floor or sit on small chairs. But you not. So therefore, also you wouldn't be allowed to do the sudas avra sitting on a small stool. No kfiyas samita. So therefore, you don't. You'd sit in a regular chair to have the sudas havra. Al hachacham siftes. Al hachacham mavin hakoil b'chol hamoed. And the chacham, everyone gets to do the sudas havra. B'chol hamoed v'sochar chava k'derech shemavin sa'avelim. Shakol avelim alav. On the gadol door, everyone's avelim on him. So therefore, you see that then they should do a sudas avra. Now I didn't see that. No one's knowing that. I've never seen it by. Even if people are with the torkriya by Chaim, Levaya, or other gdolim, torkriya al chapanim. No, the sudas avra. No, I never saw anyone do. But it will be mutter if people decide to do it. Eisin. Kol tzarchei hameis b'chol hamoed. They get out to do malachos, whatever they need to do. My seuman to go ahead and to prepare whatever they need to for the mace. Goyzim sara, they can do proper tahara, where they'll cut the hair. Chapsing suso, or the wash, and you can go ahead and washing the body. Obviously, there's no malacha, but chapsing suso, you go ahead and you can. Wash his clothing. In the aura, in the aura, in the chotzer, you'll have to build a coffin in the chotzer where the mace is. You can do, near where the mace is, or by the funeral home, whatever it is. The snicker, it's for the mace. If they didn't have any beams, if you encourage some nice and if they have to bring logs of wood and cut them and cut them up, so that they'll have to do inside the house. Everyone knew. The Rava here was nifter, so whatever the family's going to do, so everyone knows what's going on. So therefore, that's they can do even feel b'shuk. Aval ein korsin eitz bin hayar, right? There's no problem with Marisayin. Aval ein korsin eitz bin hayar. Even for a chacham, don't chop a tree down. Lintar minu nasarim la'aron, because that already is very. No one's going to really, even if people know you're cutting it with wood, whatever. But you go out to the forest already. If people don't. Why are you chopping down a tree? So chopping down the Mishnah says cutting a hadas is fine because everyone knows that's the Orach Chaim. So chopping the tree down, it's too removed. People, it's not so clear. So it's a Gemara Sayin. Zilzal of Moy could be. Therefore, it's also to chop down the tree to go ahead and to do that. Ve'ein chaytzvin avanim livnos ben kever. Nor do you mine out stones to go ahead and build a matzeva on top. V'machum sheyehudim ma'at, where the city where there's a little few Jews. Adarim b'machum echad v'kol yodim sheish meis ve'yer. Everyone knows, if you're out of, way out of town somewhere in America or whatever, where they have a very small community, everyone knows that someone's nifter. Kol chashuv k'befursam. Therefore, it's supposed to do whatever you need because everyone knows about it. Ein chayfrim kuchim machafira ufaras v'vinyan b'chol hamoed liyais muchonim l'meis shamos. The what's it called? The Chaver Kadisha They used to, when they had time, they would go ahead and dig out kvarim or kuchim or in walls and in stone wall, in like caves, things like that. They can't do that on the Moed to prepare. Like, okay, we know we have a slew of mason coming. Let's, I don't know, for a reason, or it's time to have it prepared. So they don't have to go ahead and also it says that Chol Moed, it has to be the kever is prepared beforehand. So they only prepare a kever when they know there is a mace, but not okay. Let's just do it so that we'll have it prepared so we can just zip in. That they can't do. If it's already there, then you're allowed to go ahead and marchiv it or make it bigger, things like that, make different sizes. That you would be allowed to do. Because this is a tircha yisera, so therefore, even if you could use the tzarcha meis, doesn't make a difference. Ein litlish asavim va'afar b'chol hamoed bebeis hakvaros k'ma shenogin la'asos b'chol. You can't pull out grass or afar and stones, whatever. Chol hamoed, that's what they did during the chol, because that's a malacha, and that's not. The question is, what's the problem? So the Eli Rabbah says, the Mishra brings Eli Rabbah says the problem is only if you're doing it for the Tzarech Beis HaKvaros. Let's say there's weeds on top of growing up on the side of a kever or something, and you want to go ahead, it's not covered, you want to pull it out, or things like that. That would be a problem. However, that which after Levaya, you go ahead and they, tolish grass, there's a Zeicher for Tchias Amesim, or, there was a minute to pull grass and throw it over the shoulder, something like that. To take a stone, that's the same idea of taking the stone after you go to a kever and putting a stone on the kever. So it seems it's a machlokes. However, the Shabura seems to come out that the minig is not to be toilish it. To pick a stone up from the floor, muktzah is a little muktzah on Chol. That would be fine. If you find a stone sitting on the floor, then you'd be allowed to put it on the kever or something like that, or use it, or some grass already toilish. You can throw it then. I don't know, whatever that, but not to actually dig out a stone. Din tziduk hadin b'moed I'm Yeridea. Whether you can say tziduk hadin on Chol Moed, you'll see in Yeridea. So the issue is that Shabura says that we don't say tziduk hadin because the problem with tziduk hadin is margil hesped. It'll bring people to be maspid the mace because it's so therefore the meaning is not to say it during Chol Moed. But again, all Chaver Kadishas have their own minhagim and different ways of burying different things like that. So if you're Indian, I don't know, whatever, get to Ilchus Avelis, you can discuss it then a little bit more. Let's start talking from Ches. A kover is meisai v'socha regel. Someone who, this is the Avelis, someone who buried the mace in the Chol Moed. Lo chol avelos b'regel, right? It's doicha that the regel in the Moed is doicha the avelos. Achar regel masculino shiva noig behen avelos. So only start saying shiva after the Moed. Mono shloshim yom miyom hakvura, and they count shloshim yom from yom hakvura. V'noig b'shar shloshim k'hol gzer shloshim. But the shloshim and noig, like other gzer shloshim, not cutting the hair and taking hot showers, things like that, and it's the reason why the Yantiv is the Moed is doicha avelos. It's hamachta b'chakecha. It's a din deraisa that it's doicha the avelos of the doicha avelos. So therefore they wait until after the Moed to sit shiva, and we'll continue tomorrow. Yes.